We're ready to rumble.
The final round one game of the Phil Cox Memorial Tournament matches up the Warren Central Warriors, one of the traditional 4A powers in Central Indiana, against the Greensburg Pirates, a longtime 3A power from southeastern Indiana, led by first-year head coach Colin Rigney. It's the Warriors and the Pirates next on the ISC Sports Network. Rob Brown and Jim Leisure back with you for Game 4 of this first round of the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Happy you're with us on this Friday afternoon. And this is an intriguing matchup, Jim, as Warren Central navigating their typical difficult schedule, coming in at 2-3, but every team that the Warriors have played are ranked in the top 50 in the Sagarin. While Greensburg, this is kind of a jumping off point for them. 4 of the 6 teams the Pirates have played are outside the top 200. So this is really the first big test for this young Pirates team.
Yeah, and you add to the fact that Warren Central, generally their football team has a late run. I believe they won the sectional this year, got beaten the regional. So, you got those kids that play football, and so they're still kind of working their way into this thing. I know they didn't go all the way to state championship, but it is a factor up to and including the injuries. With Madden Berrial is out with a football injury. So should be a good one. Again, you see the records 3-3, 2-3 for Warren Central. Kind of throw that out and just should be an entertaining game.
Well, Warren Central will be the road team on the scoreboard, clad in the black uniforms and the gold numerals and lettering. One piece of news for the Warriors, they will get their leading scorer from last season. Javon Guess, the 6'5 senior, will make his season debut today. Guess scheduled to play off the bench today, but that's a significant development as Guess is a Indy Star preseason third-team super team player. So he's a significant impact guy. But you look at the first 5 games coming in, and the leading scorer for this team is Davion Hampton, the Lawrence North transfer, the only double-figure scorer for Warren Central. Hampton comes in, the guard, averaging 10 points per game.
Yeah, and on the other side, you got a handful of two double-figure scorers. Jack McKenzie comes in at 16-3 for Greensburg, and Jacoby Miller at 12. And you just got, again, a handful of guys, or Reese Beaver at 7. So, again, Max Buning at 5.8. A lot of kids can fill the basket. We'll see what happens.
Now Greensburg, the home team in this matchup, clad in the home uniforms, the dark blue numerals and lettering trimmed in black. There's Jack McKenzie being introduced, number 22, the leading scorer, as Jim mentioned, averaging just over 16 points per game. 4-year varsity player, 6'3", a senior. And the other double-figure scorer, Jacoby Miller, the 6'3", sophomore, averaging 12 points per game. Interesting coaching matchup. You've got Chris Byers on one bench, the veteran coach who won a state title with Warren Central back in 2018. Took that team to an undefeated 32-0 ride in the Class 4A title. And on the other bench, you've got Colin Rigney, just only 10 years out of high school, but won a couple state titles with Greensburg as a player in 2013, 2014 in his first year as a head coach. Veteran crew out there, but led by the youngster, the crew chief, Grant Covey, working with Christopher Scheller and Chris Fuller. Ball in the air in the tap, controlled by Greensburg.
Well, as always, Rob, I like to see what teams come out defensively. Looks like a man for Warren, straight up. I mean, they're just going to be man-to-man help side defense.
And turning to the basket, but stripped on the way up, was Coy. And here come the Warriors at the other end. Attacking to the rim. Harlan lost his balance on the way up and lost the basketball as a result. The Warriors putting all sorts of pressure on the perimeter, knocked out of bounds. Going to the floor with it was Hampton. Stays with the Pirates.
That was Reese Beaver there, who basically took the ball just past the timeline and then decided to stop and pick it up. He found himself trapped. He's got to dribble through that. He can't stop where he did.
And McKenzie, face guarded, goes cross court to Miller. 3 players on this Pirates team who all played significant roles on Greensburg's soccer team. Zeke Kirby will do a lot of the point guard work for Warren Central. That's number 4 out front. He's a returnee for the Warriors, who went 14-11 last year. Had 8 straight winning seasons, and you see Javon Guess heading to the scorers table down below us. He'll go in to work quickly. Hampton's layup trickles off the rim, and Coy outlets ahead quickly for the Pirates. Euro stepping through the lane and finger rolling off the glass is Jacoby Miller.
Well, didn't have to wait that long on Siobhan Guess there. Basically about 60 seconds maybe.
Heads to the table, waiting for the next stoppage is Guess. You mentioned football players, Jim. He's a dual sport guy, was a tight end for Warren's football team. Warriors steal it back, and then the Pirates steal it back. So a couple turnovers for each team early.
Both teams trying to move fast. It's not always, I mean, it can be obviously a very effective strategy, but not always the best. Sometimes you get a little sloppy.
Off the board and scoring is McKenzie. He'll run most of their stuff with the Pirates through McKenzie, and McKenzie has a shot, if he stays healthy, to get to 1,000 career points.
Greensburg in a 2-3. Kind of packed it in, really, almost kind of daring Warren to shoot the 3.
Well, Warren as a team shoots under 30% from the three-point line, so.
Make them do it, right?
Smith will try a long one and miss it. But Hampton with the offensive rebound puts it up and in. Davion Hampton, the Lawrence North transfer, one of 2 on this roster. Caleb Elkins, the other. And a great bounce to the front of the rim. Lance Coy was by himself, and Coy lays it in. J.J. Craig had a big game in Warren's win over Southport 2 Saturdays ago in the Forum Tip-Off Classic. Craig had 20 in the win over South Bend Riley in that event. Craig looked at the basket.
Good triple threat position there. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can pass.
Kirby drove into the paint. Found Rayshawn Smith for the layup, but Smith couldn't finish. Now here comes McKenzie attacking the smaller Smith and draws a foul, does McKenzie. Ezekiel Kirby's foul, his first, team's first. Guess stepping in. It's a 2-shot foul, so the subs have to wait until the second shot.
Honestly, I thought it might have been on the floor. I didn't see the signal from the official. It looked like the foul was way up beyond the three-point line. But he called it a 2, and that's what it is.
McKenzie shoots 2. 70% are on the year is McKenzie. First free throw, no good. Now the subs can come in. Javon Guess on for the first time this season for Warren Central. And Andrew Bowman, 6'4", sophomore, comes on for Greensburg. Second free throw kicks up and in. 7-2, Pirates on top early.
It looked like Coach Rigney brought Bowman in specifically. You know, when they brought in Guess, it's like, okay, you're going to go big. We're going to try to get our biggest guy on him.
Guess stands 6'6". And another offensive rebound for Hampton. Leaves it for Guess. Blocked from behind by Bowman, but a foul called. Bowman takes it. Bowman's first, team's first.
Very impressive again, Davion Hampton. You mentioned his second offensive board. Does a really good job of crashing the boards. Once the ball goes up, he gets in position.
Guess free throw good. Davion Hampton leads the team with averaging just over 6 rebounds per game, despite standing 6 feet. You know you're good on the interior. You're listed on the roster at 6 feet tall, and your position is forward.
Don't see that too often anymore.
Not anymore. Guess splits the pair. 7-3 our score. Greensburg comes the other way with the rebound. Pass deflected out. Boy, Hampton has been very active with his hands defensively for the Warriors.
Coach Byers, I'm sure, loves that option to have a defensive player like that.
Guess deflected it, but could not corral it. And fortunately, not a lot of fans in that end zone section, allowing Guess to decelerate 4 rows deep into the bleachers.
Warren with some full court pressure here. Let's see if they stay in it or if it's token.
Oh, McKenzie goes off the back of Craig to get it in. And McKenzie cut off at the elbow by Caleb Elkins, who's also into the game for the Warriors.
You see that off the back play a lot underneath a team's basket. I don't know, might be the first time I've ever seen it.
Going full court, yeah.
96 feet from the bucket.
Open 3 for the Pirates is off the back of the rim. That was Miller taking a try. And a great save behind the back by Reese Beaver to get a steal and a possession. Beaver drops it on the baseline to Bowman, who put it up and in. Boy, Reese Beaver started that possession and make that Jacoby Miller with the assist to finish it to Bowman on the layup. In deep to Guess. Power dribble under the bucket. Got in too deep, but able to tap it out to the perimeter and keep it alive for Warren. Kirby splits the defenders. Knocked free by Bowman. Picked up by Jacoby Miller. Bowman, open 12-footer, way over the rim. Hampton calls for a screen. Didn't get it. Elkins throws it over the rim. Kirby, offensive rebound. Hampton gets defenders off their feet. Kick to Smith for the corner 3 and hits. Make that Kirby, Ezekiel Kirby. Kirby's 11th three-pointer of the season. He leads the team. If you're Warren Central, that's the guy you want shooting them. Blocking foul called on the baseline on Warren Central. Caleb Elkins takes the foul. That puts Reese Beaver to the line for 2. First one up and in. Sub at the table waiting for Greensburg. That one's off the rim, and Ethan Smith almost tapped that miss in.
5 different Pirates in the scorebook already. Nobody really standing out per se, but certainly moving the ball around.
And Greensburg, as you mentioned at the top, Jim, just content to sit back in the 2-3 zone. And I think as long as the Pirates can rebound out of it, you like their chances.
And, and that's one of the things that Warren has had is good luck with the slashing rebounders. They got to find a way to knock that off. They got to find a way to cut that out. But other than that, just shoot it. I dare you.
Great block shot on the baseline on the recovery by the Greensburg defense. Logan Simpson steps in, 6-foot sophomore for the Pirates. Inside 100 seconds to go, first quarter, Greensburg on top. Corner three by Craig is good. Same spot where his teammate Kirby hit moments ago. 2 threes by Warren Central, helping the Warriors stay within arm's length. It's a 1-point game. One thing Warren Central has been unable to do thus far is speed Greensburg up. Pass anticipated, stolen by Elkins. To the goal, put it up, and got the roll. Boy, that hung on the lip and fell. And the Warriors have their first lead of the game.
And that is their 5th player in the scorebook. So both teams kind of spreading it around, not really relying on anybody.
And a great job by Guest to go straight up, and a foul called, much to the dismay of the Warren bench. That will put McKenzie at the line. Maybe Guest came down at the last instant.
Yeah, I haven't seen the replay yet. I mean, there was seemed like a lot of contact in there, but I don't know that.
McKenzie too strong with the putback. Here's Jonah Helmick stepping in for Greensburg, and Helmick, 6'11", junior. Tallest player in the field of 8 in this tournament. Second free throw by McKenzie is good. McKenzie is 2 out of 4 from the line.
That's one thing that Greensburg does come into the ballgame, 65% from the line, which isn't bad, but honestly it's not good either. You want to shoot at least 70%, and the good teams shoot in the high 70s. So that's an area where Coach Rigney's team needs to improve if they're going to go a long way in this tournament. Not this tournament, but the IHSAA end of the season tournament.
Warren Central content to sit back and play for one here with the score tied at 11.
Some teams go at 12, some go at 10, some go at 8. We'll see.
Craig out to Smith. Now Greensburg goes man with at 4. Hampton for 3, too strong. Tapped by Guess, and Guess can't get a rebound shot back up before the quarter expires. So Greensburg led by as much as 6 in the first quarter, but Warren with a little burst to close it out in the final minute. Settles up the score at 11 apiece at the end of one. First round action in the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament from downtown Kokomo. Quarter number 2 up next on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Back for quarter number 2 of this final game of 4 first-round contests in the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. 5th annual Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament. Rob Brown, Jim Leisure with you. So happy you're with us on this Friday. Warren with the basketball. We're all tied at 11. Zico Kirby, J.J. Craig with 3 apiece to pace Warren Central. Jack McKenzie has 4. for Greensburg. Balanced approach for each team, as Jim pointed out. Each team with 5 players scoring in that first period. Craig tries his second 3 of the game and hits his second 3 of the game. And Warren Central has its biggest lead of 3.
And once again, they come out with a little token full court pressure here. Coach Byers happy to see Mr. Craig heating up a little bit.
Well, Warren Central, a team coming in shooting less than 30% as the Warriors turn the Pirates over, but the layup is missed. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Greensburg. Early going here, Jim, but Warren Central, a team that shoots 29% from 3, is 3 out of 6 from the line, behind the line early.
Well, they've had good looks because, again, Greensburg really has not extended the defense out much. Greensburg a little more efficient when they shoot. They only took 6 shots in the first half, hit 4.
Kirby's 3 is in and out, but an offensive rebound by Elkins is put up and in.
So the pressure is going to stay, obviously. They got a turnover that they wanted on the last one, so they're going to stick with it until Greensburg shows that they can beat it.
Little 5-0 pop by the Warriors to start this second quarter. And Kirby with a hand check foul on the perimeter. That's Kirby's second foul. And we'll see what the Warriors do here with their point guard spot. Keyshawn Harling stepping back in.
Yeah, Zeke didn't like the call, but I mean, it was there. He got a little too much body, a little too much hip.
Look at the first quarter stats. The number that jumps out is Warren had 12 field goal attempts to Greensburg's 6. And that, to me, Jim, speaks to Warren's ability to offensive rebound.
Yes. Always the key to every game. Second chance points, can't give him extra shots.
Jacoby Miller. Baseline jumper is short by Reese Beaver. Beaver thought he was tapped on the elbow. Meanwhile, Guess attacks the other way. Runner is short, and a foul on the offensive rebound as 2 players tangling. And where's the foul going to go, Chris Fuller? Let's get a look at.
And then we call it on 21 against Warren. Ball's going to stay here.
Yep, foul's on Rayshawn Smith. Smith's first, team second. And in the passing lane to poke it out of bounds is Caleb Elkins.
Greensburg's just got to be a little sharper here. A lot of these passes are kind of slow, and you could even, Coach Knight would say they were lazy passes, and they're getting knocked away. When you got this much pressure, you got to be sharp and you got to be crisp.
Warren has succeeded in making Greensburg look a little bit uncomfortable to start this second quarter.
Yeah, even though they got the ball past the timeline, they still haven't really broken the press.
5-point Warrior lead. Pulling away a little bit from an 11-all tie to begin the quarter. Guess up high to get the rebounded missed 3. Craig wanted a 3, but run off the line. Pass kicked. They'll reset it. Will the Warriors? Near side sideline. Chris Byers wants time. 30-second timeout. We'll stay here. And remind you that today's game is brought to us by Coca-Cola of Kokomo. I'd like to welcome all of our guests to Howard County this holiday weekend. Coca-Cola of Kokomo has been enriching the lives of residents of North Central Indiana since 1907 and is a proud partner with 26 schools to make sure students stay hydrated in the classroom and on the field of play. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Well, in case you're just joining us, scores from earlier today, the hosts Kokomo, the defending champions of this tournament, winning 90-70 in our first game of the day. Kokomo hitting a tournament record 17 3-pointers in the opening game, beating New Haven 90-70. Maryville outlasted Hanover Central in a game that was much closer than the final score indicates, 60-52. And in the game just before this one, Portage rallied from 18 down early in the third quarter to beat Plainfield 43-41. Plainfield had a 3-pointer in the air that spun out at the horn. And off the inbound to resume play, Javon Guest gets his first field goal of the game, extending the Warren Central run to 7-0 to begin this second quarter. in deep. Lance Coy's shot is partially blocked by Guess. Down the baseline, Harlan waits for the trailing Guess. In the corner, Craig for three. Got it. J.J. Craig, his third three of the game. And Warren, showing activity at both ends, has stretched its lead to 10. Ball knocked free on the floor. And Craig takes it away. Harlan on a race to the goal. Puts it up, puts it in. Timeout. And we've got an injured player on the floor. I thought a timeout was called by Colin Rigney, but instead we've got an injured Pirate on the floor. That's Jacoby Miller.
And you saw the replay there. The ball was still alive. It was never really tied up. And unless it's a very, very serious injury, they're going to let the play go. And then the second the bucket goes in, they're going to blow it dead, and that's what they've done. And now Coach Rigney has decided he wants a full.
Full timeout. We'll go ahead and take a break. Greensburg calls time. We'll take a break as well. 4:42 to go, first half. Warren Central leads 23-11. We're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Rob Brown, Jim Leisure back with you. 23-11 our score. Warren Central on a 12-0 run to begin this second quarter. And Jim, run has been initiated by Warren's ability to turn up the defensive pressure and speed the Pirates up.
Yeah, they're forcing. I mean, they're full court pressing from the inbounds. I mean, they're not even three-quarter court. I mean, it's full court pressure, and it's trapping. And, Greensburg has been able to get the ball past the timeline a couple of times to set up some semblance of offense. But, even when that happens, Rob, it seems like they're out of sorts by the time they get there.
Out of the timeout. And the Pirates turn it over. Logan Simpson throws it into the scorer's table. I do want to report that just before the timeout, Jacoby Miller of the Pirates banged his elbow hard into the floor, went back into the dressing room, but has come back to the bench and has a wrap on that elbow. So it looks like we may see him back. He's got an elbow wrap on that left elbow and kind of already flexing it on the bench. So hopefully we'll see him return.
Yeah, he's a 12-point-a-game guy, so which Rigney wants him in the ballgame.
Elkins' three is long, but an offensive rebound taken out of there by the Warriors. That's Hampton that grabbed it. Guess against the double team, up too strong. And the rebound poked out of there and stolen by the Pirates.
And very wisely pushed it up the floor, because if he started to kind of hesitate, and he was going to get trapped full court, so he decided to move.
McKenzie splits a double. Nice move, and McKenzie gets to the rim. Those are the first points of the quarter by the Pirates. Jack McKenzie with 6. (23-13).
Greensburg extending the defense just a bit. As you mentioned earlier, Warren has shot abnormally well from behind the arc.
Elkins got going before he had the basketball and had to come back and reset.
By extending the defense, so then you create those lanes where people can drive or slash. It's kind of that double-edged sword here.
Harlan has shifted over to the point guard spot once Ezekiel Kirby picked up his second foul early in the second quarter. Hampton, turn and face, kicks it over. Weak side rebound. Smith is there to put it up, no good, but then flying in to clean it up and lay it in is Elkins. Warren Central, Jim, is getting 2 and 3 shots per trip, rebounding out of that zone. Smith tried to get an offensive, get the rebound and save it, but couldn't. But gets a pat on the back from his head coach.
That was great effort. Now, both teams had 4 turnovers in the first quarter, but again, that was before Warren really updated the pressure. And it is white ball. The official got a little confused there. He was pointing toward Greensburg's team saying white ball, but it was going the other way, and it was confusing to people.
Two and a half minutes to go, first half. This game was tied at 11 at the end of the quarter. Bowman had it knocked free to the deck, tried to get it back, but Warren comes out with it. Bounce ahead to Craig, and then Craig able to finish it. J.J. Craig with 10. That's Craig's first field goal that wasn't a 3.
Yeah, 10 but 8 in the second quarter, and a lot of them on just either wide open looks or that driving layup because of the press.
Bowman's pass is deflected off the end line.
That's J.J. Craig. Actually, I thought he tipped that out.
Oh, my. I thought that was deflected.
Yeah, me too. We're going to see it here. But here's the finish at the rim. And then on the other end, I'm pretty sure he got a piece of it. But good hustle of him to get down the floor. I mean, score on one end and make the defensive play on the other.
27-13. So we wind down the second quarter that has been dominated by Warren Central. Greensburg has managed just a lone field goal. Craig, corner 3, got it. Boy, J.J. Craig heating up in this second quarter. 3 3-pointers and a 2-pointer. Ball stolen. Craig to the basket, tried the up and under, but slammed it off the bottom of the rim. Now Greensburg with an advantage. And Coy backs it out, waits for help. Finds McKenzie in the lane. McKenzie lost the handle, stripped away by Harlan. 3-on-1. Harlan to Guess. Guess lost it on the way up and shoveled it out of bounds.
Greensburg wants another timeout. Now, again, lots of hands, so I'm sure that Coach Rigney's going to talk to the official. Aren't some of those fouls, all that reaching and slapping and different things you see him doing the slapping motion? We'll see. I haven't seen.
30-second timeout will stay here.
I guess there's the answer. You still see Coach talking to him. Again, he was doing like a slapping motion. Like, aren't some of that contact?
Now, full timeout, 30-second timeout call. We'll keep it here. 1:07 to go in the second quarter. Now, Greensburg did not play in this event last year. Warren Central did, however, and finished in 5th place, going 2-1 with wins over Plainfield and Mishawaka. Lost to Jeffersonville, a Jeffersonville team that went all the way to the semi-state last year in Class 4A.
And I know we've seen Westfield, we've seen Center Grove. We almost had our first AAU substitution there where they tell a player, hey, get in for so-and-so, and the kid just runs on the floor. This is high school ball. You got to check in. You can't just go, hey, Billy.
I watch a lot of hockey, Jim. That was a hockey substitution.
Yes, it was.
And Greensburg calls another timeout.
And I think Coach thought that they were having trouble getting it inbounds and didn't want to turn it over on a 5-second call.
That's another 30-second timeout. Quallen Lawless is at the table for Warren Central. His dad, Quad, is on the bench. There's Quad that you see come to the scorer's table to check on the timeout situation. Former Purdue Boilermaker Roy Hairston also on that Warren Central staff. You see Roy with his back to us. Going to have a seat now. And Quad Lawless, number 32 for Warren Central, stepping into the game. (30-13). Warren Central has outscored Greensburg 19-2 in this second quarter. In the corner, McKenzie for 3, too strong. Rebound is tapped and picked up off the baseline by Hampton. Hampton tripped over his teammate Craig's foot and lost the basketball. Final minute of quarter 2. McKenzie picked up his dribble and almost a 5-second count against Hampton's pressure. Now Coy works in the lane. It's knocked free. Runner too strong by Jacoby Miller, who's back in the game. Outlet ahead to Hampton. Euro stepping through the paint, missed it, got it back. Stripped on the way up. And the Warren bench yells one shot with the game clock inside 10 seconds. Elkins with 5. Elkins, step number 2 as the Warren Central defense suffocates the Pirates en route to a 17-point halftime advantage. Stay tuned. Halftime activities and conversation are next. We'll step out, come right back to downtown Kokomo as you're watching the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament 2024 edition on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Rob Brown, Jim Leisure back with you at halftime. Warren Central leading Greensburg by the score of 30-13. Let's recap this first half for you. Tight first quarter. And you wouldn't know it by the score, but it was 11-11 at the end of the first quarter, and then Warren Central turned up the defensive pressure, and that's when this game flipped as the Warriors outscoring Greensburg 19-2 in quarter number 2, and as a result, Warren Central sitting on a game-high 17-point lead. Greensburg managing just 1 field goal in the second quarter. And, Jim, as we look at the stat sheet, Greensburg managed just 6 field goal attempts in the second quarter and had 7 turnovers. And that combined with Warren Central's 10 offensive rebounds. Those are the numbers that really jump out to me.
Yeah, so that means basically of the 13 possessions, 12 of them were empty. Either you went down and you missed a shot, or you didn't even get the ball, past the 10-second line. Warren, 11 points off turnovers, 10 offensive rebounds for the Warriors, and second chance points. Warren has 10, Greensburg has 0. Those are, I think, the most telling statistics.
Well, and you look at the scoring, J.J. Craig, for Warren Central, 14 points. Craig hitting 3 3-pointers in the second quarter, 4 overall. Craig leads all scorers. Jack McKenzie has 6. And one of the things we talked about at the top when, Jim, when Greensburg began the game sitting in a 2-3 zone, we thought, oh, okay, that's the play with Warren Central shooting 29% as a team from three-point range. We look down at the stat sheet. Warren is 5 out of 11. That's 46%. And, oh, by the way, Craig is 4 for 4.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, off 3-point points, Warren Central has 15, so they've hit 5 of them. Greensburg has not hit any. Now, we just saw in the first game an 18-point lead get erased. Who's to say that we couldn't see that in this ball game in the second half as Greensburg finds himself down 17?
Warren Central on top by 17. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at some first half highlights and take you up to the start of half number 2. All of that coming up next on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score!
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Has it, leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. Said that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Rob Brown, Jim Leach are back with you. We are at halftime. Warren Central leading Greensburg 30-13. Let's take a look at some of our first half highlights. Greensburg got going early, led 9-3, led by as much as 6 in the first quarter. Davion Hampton very active in quarter 1 on the offensive glass. Jack McKenzie led Greensburg in that first quarter. Greensburg was very active. Javon Guess. Greensburg was able to get to the front of the rim in the first quarter and get some baskets around the rim, but then the three-pointers started to fall for Warren in that late first quarter, early second, and then J.J. Craig started heating up and busting open that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, that's the deal right there. I mean, you saw it. The score was tied 11-11 at the end of one. Greensburg was getting the ball to the rim, as you said, and Coach Byers said, you know what, enough of that. We're going to see if you can get it to the rim from 96 feet away because we're going to press you every single inch of this court, and that has been the difference along with the three-point shooting.
Now Greensburg will have the ball to start the second half. Again, Jack McKenzie leading Greensburg with 6 points. J.J. Craig leads all scorers, pacing Warren with 14. McKenzie handling out front. Original starters on the floor for both teams. Good to see Jacoby Miller back in the game after banging his elbow in the second quarter. You see Miller has that black wrap on his left elbow.
Well, we talked about how important he is to this team and averages about 12.
Rayshawn Smith picked up the foul. His second. Team first. Reese Beaver handling on the ISO right side. Second defender comes. Miller tries a three out front and hits. Jacoby Miller, after the Pirates were 0 for 3 from behind the line in the first half. Miller hits the first Greensburg three of the game to open the second half scoring.
But even that, he had to do it with a guy in his face. This Warren defense has been unbelievable. Just so relentless, and they're so aggressive. Now, there was a foul called right, out of the half here where it got a little too physical out top. But for the most part, they're taking full advantage of it.
Extra pass to Craig for the three out front. That's a little too strong. And a nice job by McKenzie to tap the rebound to Coy, who had a little more space to gather. Coy stop and go drive on Hampton, scores 5 straight points for the Pirates. Kirby, quick catch and shoot, 3 hits. Ezekiel Kirby, second three of the game for him. McKenzie spins away from the double and throws it right to Kirby. 2 on the baseline, too strong by Smith. And McKenzie ahead to Coy.
McKenzie very wisely. You better grab that rebound. You better get moving. If you stand there, you're going to find yourself trapped.
Craig in the passing lane. I feel like I could use that phrase for every Warren defender.
Yeah.
Defender X fill in the blank in the passing lane.
Yeah. Of course, the other thing that does is it starts the count. So, you're really forcing Greensburg to move the basketball, maybe sometimes when they don't want to, into spots they don't want to.
Miller, nice job to get the defender off his feet, but missed the open 15-footer. Colin Rigney liked that shot, though, applauding Miller for the play as Warren heads to the other end. Hampton left alone for 3. So open he had to shoot it, and he knocked it in. He looked reluctant to shoot it, but he made the shot, did Hampton. Greensburg almost turned it over.
Yeah, Warren wanted that double dribble. It looked like he kind of started to pass it and then picked it up in the air and threw it, then dribbled it again.
Harlan almost got the steal, attacking to the rim, and Beaver unable to finish as his layup rolled off. Harlan pull up from 10 in the lane, almost banked it in, but no.
Harlan with a good job with his eyes. Now there, of course, just uses too much body, but I love the way he basically looked at the other Warren player the whole time until it was time to square up. Basically looking off the defender like a quarterback would.
Andrew Bowman stepping in. Warren Central wants time. 5 minutes to go here in the third. What do we have here? 30-second timeout? 30-second timeout. We'll stay here.
30-second timeout.
With 5 minutes to go, even in the third quarter, 36-18. You're watching the Phil Cox Memorial Holiday Tournament, the 5th edition. And probably should take a time. Let's take a minute or two, or while we have time. Phil Cox was the 1972 Mr. Basketball from Connorsville, led Connorsville to a state title. And I think, Jim, it speaks to the kind of person Phil Cox was, and Mr. Cox passed away in 2018. The impact he had here in Kokomo, that he's not from Kokomo.
Correct.
Yet this tournament is named after him. And he's not a Kokomo native. He didn't play at Kokomo High School. He's not from here. But this tournament is named after him due to the impact he had on this community and on this high school.
Well, yeah, when he came up here, basically as one of the coaches and stuff, but he also never forgot Connorsville. He did a lot of philanthropic things in both cities.
As Beaver scores.
Beaver scores. Reese Beaver.
2009 Indiana Basketball Hall of Famer, Phil Cox.
So, again, just a great man who really never forgot his hometown of Connorsville, but had a huge impact here.
And Caleb Elkins hits a three. 4 different Warriors have hit three-pointers tonight. And I'm going to guess that Colin Rigney did not have that on the scouting report.
I was just getting ready to say, when you're a coach and you try to prepare for a team, as you see a nice driving bucket, and then they come out and just blow that out of the water. I mean, what do you do?
I think any coach, whether you're a football coach, a basketball coach, as Elkins got a good look and he got an even better kick. That one took a high kick off the rim and fell. 2 straight threes for Caleb Elkins. He's in the double figures with 12.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, when you spend basically the last couple days preparing a certain way against a team, because you know what, guys, they never run this play. They never attempt these things. And then all of a sudden they come out and they do, and they hit them all. It's hard.
And a good drive and finish off the window by Coy. 30-second timeout called by Greensburg. We'll stay here. To finish my point, Jim, I think any coach in any sport, when you're putting a scouting report together, you have to pick something where you say, if they do this, we have to concede this, and if they do it, it's the least likely thing they're going to do, but if they do it, we're probably going to get beat.
Right.
But it's the least likely thing that's going to happen.
No, you hear that all the time in coaching offices where it's like, look, and if they hit it, they beat us.
Right.
Okay. If they run that, then they're just going to beat us, because you can't stop everything. You got to try to stop their 3 or 4 best things, whatever they do, and then force them to do things that they're not good at or things that they don't do often. Well, if they then do those things well, you're going to lose anyway, right? I mean, when you got a team that has 7 or 8 different offensive options, you're probably not going to win. That's all you can do is try to stop the best 3 or 4 of them. And then again, like you said, they end up doing 5, 6, and 7 really well. Well, you're going to lose.
Well, Warren Central coming in through 5 games, the Warriors were averaging 3.6 three-pointers a game. We are just past the halfway mark in the third quarter, and the Warriors have hit 9 tonight.
Well, and again, that Coach Rigney's game plan was correct. That's the thing. You know what? These guys don't shoot a lot of them. When they do shoot them, they don't hit them. So you know what? We're going to force them to shoot them, and they have. And unfortunately for Greensburg, they've hit them.
Warren Central has an 18-point lead and the basketball. Guess is in the game. Got the lob, missed the contested shot in traffic, and Bowman clears it out for the Pirates. McKenzie pushed off and caught red-handed as Elkins beat McKenzie to the spot, and McKenzie had no recourse but to forearm to clear space. And McKenzie called for the foul, his first and the team's first. That's just the second foul whistled on the Pirates. Kirby jump pass to Hampton, who drives and leaves for Guest. Good pump fake by Guest. Missed the shot, got his own rebound to Guest. Put it up too strong. Hampton's got an offensive rebound and puts it in. Boy, Hampton is relentless on the offensive rebounds.
Well, that's another thing you could say a lot is Hampton with an offensive rebound. And you see some great hustle there, too, as well.
Ball knocked out.
Davion Hampton with 4 offensive boards in the first half, and Got one there, so up to 5. That's incredible.
Yeah, he may have at least 2 here in this quarter. Ethan Smith back in the game, brings it into the forecourt. Ball swung to the open man, Beaver for 3. Shot nicks the rim. Bowman's got the rebound. Over the outstretched hand of Guess on the putback, and Bowman draws the foul. Second foul on Guess. Bowman, the sophomore, showing some good activity level when he has been in the game. Free throw is short. Greensburg has left some points on the table from the foul line tonight. Just 3 out of 7 are the Pirates.
Which is well below their 65% coming into the game, so that's under 50, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah, if you're going to beat a team where you're perceived kind of, that one just nicks the rim, you're perceived kind of punching above your weight class, to borrow a cliche, you've got to make free throws and you've got to knock some threes in.
Yep.
And the Pirates have missed 5 free throws tonight, 3 out of 8, and have made just 1 3-pointer. Came in averaging over 5 makes a game from behind the line.
Yeah.
Elkin's foul line jumper is no good.
I played for a high school coach who said if you can't shoot consistently in the high 60s to 70s, then you can't play. I can't put you on the floor. I can't risk it.
If you didn't shoot in the high 60s, low 70s from the foul line?
From the line.
Yeah.
I just simply can't take that chance. They're going to find you. They're going to foul you, and we're going to have an empty possession.
Bowman's hook pass intended for Helmick is knocked off the inline by the Warriors. Stays with the Pirates with 1:48 to go in the third. Hampton gets a rest. Gets a good job pat on the back from his coaching staff. Into Helmick. And Helmick lays it in. Might have gotten away with a little push off there. Push 2 for Helmick.
Probably a little bit of both. Rob, a little push up, but also a little acting.
A little embellishment, perhaps?
Yep. See, I think that's the biggest thing for an official. Got to walk there, but, on the flop thing, and I don't have a problem with them making the rule at the high school level, but here's the thing. If I was an official and I had a kid that was flopping, I would just tell him, look, son, I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to call nothing. If you keep flopping, then they could run over you with a car, and I'm not going to call it. Stop it.
Right. Jacoby Miller stripped as he came down the baseline. Out of bounds. And it'll stay with the Pirates. Helmick out to get it. Needs help.
Looking for somebody.
Miller had taken away by Craig. Up to Kirby. Taps to Smith. Then Smith on the finish for his first 2.
Great eyesight by Kirby. He knew he was losing the ball, and just out of the corner of the eye, he saw a streaking teammate and tapped it to him.
Beaver able to create space on the pivot and hit the 3 from the space created. First 3 for Reese Beaver, just the second 3 of the game for the Pirates. We're inside 50 seconds to go, third quarter. Warren is led by as much as 20 here in the quarter. The lead stands right now at 17. Guess content to hold it on his hip as the third quarter winds down. Played this third quarter to a 16-16 stalemate. So the difference in the game right now is the second quarter. First quarter was a tie, third quarter a tie. Second quarter, though, was a 17-point Warren advantage. Final 10 seconds of the third. Elkins, Kirby, 3 behind the screen, too strong. Beaver rebounds, and that'll do it. So a 16-all draw in the third quarter, and as a result, Warren takes a 16-point lead into the final 8 minutes. We will have that on the other side after this pause on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at IndianaWorkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Rob Brown, Jim Leisure back for the final quarter of this final first-round game between Warren Central and Greensburg. Warriors lead by 17. J.J. Craig leading all scorers with 14 points. Reese Beaver has 8 to pace Greensburg. Pirates shot 64% in that second quarter, or third quarter rather. Caleb Elkins lays it in to start the final quarter for Warren Central. And then the Pirates turn it over.
Elkins wisely lets it go out of bounds for the over and back now, or the out of bounds, I guess. But he was hustling. He was going to go down there and get that ball still in play. It's a live ball.
That's turnover number 14 for Greensburg. Quallen Lawless into the game. Sets the high screen for Kirby. Kirby. Lawless backing down the smaller defender. Kirby left alone for 3. Got it again. Third 3 of the game for Kirby. Kirby's 3 out of 7 from behind the line. Helmick on the kick out. Long 3 by McKenzie is good. Whoa, that was from way out.
McKenzie's been quiet really since the first quarter. Had a bucket in the second and then that 3.
He's the Pirates' leading scorer coming in at 16 a game. Fading and shooting and hitting is J.J. Craig for 3. Craig is 5 out of 6. That's the 11th 3 of the game for Warren Central. Warriors came in averaging just 3.5 threes a game. There's a steal by Elkins. Foot race to the goal, and Elkins will put it down with a right hand. 16 for Caleb Elkins. Biggest lead of the game for the Warriors. Smith is smothered at the rim and fouled. Fouls on Quallen Lawless. Lawless is first and the team's first. Quaylen Lawless, beg your pardon. Quaylen Lawless. And Smith's free throw kicks off. Keyshawn Harlan returns, and we get our first look of the night at Shandon Gilbert, a 6'4" freshman for the Warriors. Gilbert number 3. Smith splits the pair for his first point of the night. 56-33, 5:50 to go.
Expect Coach Myers to continue to kind of sub that bench out if he gets an opportunity, get some younger kids in the game, get some experience.
A couple of the players still available. Lawless missed the 3. Picked up off the floor by Gilbert to keep the possession alive.
Yet another offensive rebound by Warren.
It's the 13th of the game for Warren. Gilbert down the lane, cut off. Able to shovel it back to Smith. Lawless to the basket, scores. First two for Lawless. Quaylen Lawless, his first two. That's 58-33. 25-point lead of the night for Warren Central, its biggest. Scoop shot up and in off the board by Jacoby Miller.
Very nice.
.445 left. Errant pass recovered by Smith. Elkins calling for a screen, wants somebody to come up. Nobody came to set the screen. So he gives it up to Harlan. Elkins gets it back. Had Smith posting, the smaller Smith from Greensburg.
Yeah, Ray Sean kind of looked at him like, you're posting me up?
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot tall.
Andre Davis in for the first time for Warren Central, the 5'10 senior.
Warren still with the pressure.
And a foul in the backcourt on Davis, who just entered the game seconds ago.
And you might have been able to hear Coach Rigney, yelling at his team, go, go. I mean, if you hold it, they're going to trap you. Go somewhere.
Simpson picked up his dribble in a tough spot, turns and missed the 8-foot flipper. Helmick has the rebound, and he turns and tosses it in. Jonah Helmick with 4 off the bench, all here in the second half. Halfway through the final quarter. Twisting layup to the goal and in by Keyshawn Harlan. A wild shot flipped off the glass, no good, but a foul drawn by Jacoby Miller. Shannon Gilbert takes the foul. And while Miller shoots these free throws, I'll remind you that today's game is brought to us by Coca-Cola of Kokomo, welcoming all of our guests to Howard County this holiday weekend. Coca-Cola of Kokomo has been enriching the lives of residents of North Central Indiana since 1907. Coca-Cola Kokomo proud to partner with 26 schools to make sure students stay hydrated in the classroom and on the field of play. Find out more at cckokomo.com. Now Miller splits the pair. Miller, the first Pirate to get to double figures. Bucket for Andre Davis, his first of the game. Brian Nichols is in the game as well for Warren Central, the 6'3 junior, number 33 on your screen. First time we've seen him today. Bowman, hard drive to the bucket, score. Gilbert tees up 3. Too strong on the front rim. Helmick had it poked free and picked up off the ground by Simpson. Jacoby Miller cut off on the baseline. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Bowman.
And the ball just kind of slipped through his hands there as 32 Hayden Ramsey checks in, I believe, for the first time.
Yep, first time we've seen Ramsey today. 5'9 junior. Well, up next, following us, will be the first game in the consolation bracket. That'll be New Haven and Hanover Central. Kurt Darling and Michael Wantz will be with you for that one. Brian Nichols too strong with that. And then Plainfield and Greensburg to close out the night. Hayden Ramsey just into the game. He scoffed at the old adage, Jim, do not shoot it the first time you touch it when you're just into the game. He scoffed at that and knocked it in from 12.
Well, there's a train of thought, too, is, you know what, maybe go out there and show the coach that perhaps he's playing the wrong guys.
Harlan, step back, hits from 14 and drew the foul. Keyshawn Harlan. Fouled by Jacoby Miller on the closeout. Miller's first and the team's first. Sub at the table came into the game, Max Buning, 5'9" freshman for Greensburg. So all 10 of the 11 Greensburg Pirates available have stepped in. 11 of the 12 Warriors available have stepped into the game. Bowman is fouled from behind by Nichols. That may have been one of those where it looked worse than it was. Oh, no, they called an intentional foul.
Yep.
So an intentional foul has been called on Brian Nichols.
There was a little bit of a pull. If we see the replay here, you're going to see he gets kind of pulled from behind.
So Bowman shoots 2.
Here it is.
And we'll have the ball. Oh, yeah. That's a pull.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's a pull. So Bowman shoots 2 and missed both. And now Greensburg will have the basketball.
Greensburg was 3 of 8 coming into the quarter from the line and hasn't hit a bunch of them.
And they're 2 of 8 here in the quarter. Final minute and a half, and Gilbert stole the basketball, heads to the other end, and lays it in. So Shannon Gilbert, the freshman, with his first points. Or make that Brian Nichols, excuse me. That was Brian Nichols. His first points. 66-42. Bowman, foul line jumper, too strong. Rebounded by Harlan. Gilbert, the freshman, trying to get free. Had it knocked loose. Harlan backs it out.
Now the Warren bench was signaling to Harlan, hey, let's hold it out, let's hold it out. We'll see. Now Greensburg can press the action and get out there and get the count started. At some point, the official's got to give it to him. He's close enough right now. They could start a count.
Harlan gives to Davis. Davis threw it off a Greensburg defender out of bounds.
Yeah, he found himself trapped there. Actually, pretty smart play.
Nichols backs it out, and it's like Greensburg will let Warren dribble this one out. Game was tied at the end of 1, but then Warren turned up the defense and pulled away to win this one by 24. So Warren Central advances to the semifinal round tomorrow, where the Warriors will play Portage, while Greensburg will play later on tonight at 7:45 against Plainfield. Jim, some final thoughts on this one.
Warren was fantastic from behind the arc. They were fantastic defensively. They had, like you said, players with their hands in the passing lane the whole game, knocking the ball loose, creating turnovers. Greensburg just struggled with the press and then honestly did not hit free throws and had way too many turnovers.
Greensburg led by Jacoby Miller, who had 10 points. J.J. Craig led a balanced Warren Central attack with 17. As Warren improves to 3-3 on the season, Greensburg drops to 3-4. Well, our next game will be Hanover Central and New Haven. That will tip at approximately 6 o'clock. Stay tuned for that one. Kurt Darling and the pride of Union City, Michael Wantz, will take you the rest of the way with that one. They'll have that game followed by Greensburg and Plainfield. Hope you stay with us. I want to thank everyone for tuning in for our 2 games here this afternoon. Thank you so much, partner. We'll check up with you here after the new year.
Always fun to work with you, and we'll see you again later.
Yep. I want to thank our great crew working with us today. Charlie Hammock, our director, Aaron Van Wolde on the cameras, and thank you to you, the viewer, for tuning in. On behalf of our great ISC crew, thank you so much. And until we talk to you next time, have a happy holiday, happy new year. And this has been Rob Brown on behalf of our entire ISC Sports Network crew saying so long, everybody.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly.